We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel for Memorial Day here on May 26th. We've been hot with the MLB Best Bets. Another good day yesterday. Our NBA, yeah, we're not going to talk about the Pacers. Oh, God. What a choke job. We'll get to that later on in the day with our daily NBA predictions and best bets. We'll have Pacers and Knicks game 4 later tonight. But anyways, folks, before we get into the MLB Best Bets, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Pacers in 5, by the way, we're going to be okay with the NBA because later today, again, we'll have our NBA predictions out. Last night, we posted our game 4 predictions with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So go make sure to check that out. And also on Greedo Plays MMA this week, our UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. Full card predictions. Again, that is linked in the description down below. Go make sure to check out that video on Greedo Plays MMA. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today. No Nationals game. I'll talk about the Nationals a little bit at the end of the video if anyone's interested. But no Nationals today. That means I'm going to go 3 money lines today instead of 2. Okay, so here's the first of those 3 money lines, and we're going to kick things off here in Detroit, Michigan at Comerica Park between the Detroit Tigers and the San Francisco Giants. Okay, the Tigers are going to finish the job for the Nationals today. All right, the Nats couldn't take care of business again. I have my spiel to say about the Nationals later. I am disappointed about yesterday, okay, to say the least. But we're going to take Tigers money line here to kick off the day. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love taking Detroit money line, and I like them especially at even money or close to even money. That's kind of where the Tigers have really done us right so far this year. Are games where they're undervalued, let's just be honest. And I know Detroit had lost 3 games in a row prior to Tarek Skubbal's masterclass yesterday. I mean, what a performance for him. He seems like the obvious choice right now for AL Cy Young. I know Garrett Crochet's pitching really well, and he pitches today as well. No Nerfy for him today because the odds were horrible for it. But regardless, right, Tarek Skubal is great. We had his over on strikeouts yesterday, and he hit that easily, right? 13 Ks. We only needed, 7? Anyways, a 5-0 victory yesterday for the Detroit Tigers, and that's momentum, right? Losing 3 in a row to Cleveland was not ideal, but they're still in first place in the American League Central. I believe they're still in first place in the AL in total, with being 14 games over 500. And this team, right, I still feel okay about them. And I get it, they're taking on the San Francisco Giants with their dark magic and their great bullpen and their excellent pitching rotation, as we saw yesterday with Robbie Ray. It's a bullpen day, though, today for San Francisco, as they will start with their opener being Hayden Birdsong, and you're going to see a plethora of guys coming out the pen today for San Francisco. The thing is, they've used their pen a little bit. I mean, we've seen Randy Rodriguez in back-to-back days, as we saw him yesterday in that Nats game. We saw Ryan Walker almost choke that game away against the Nats. Again, I will have my spiel at the end of the video. So I think this Giants bullpen, again, has been worked a little bit, and it is a full bullpen day here to kick off the day against the Tigers. I think it's a great spot for Detroit. The one point I am a little bit concerned about today with Detroit is with Montero on the bump, and that's the only reason the odds are anywhere close to where they're at right now. It's because Montero is sporting a 5.28 ERA on the season. That really is just a result of his last start, though. I mean, you look at how Montero's pitched this year, it's kind of like what was going on with Jackson Jobe, right? I mean, he wasn't pitching lights out, but the Tigers would find ways to win when Montero would go on the bump. Prior to his last start, Detroit was 4-1 in games in which Montero had started. His best start of the season, by the way, at Coors Field against the Rockies, 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. But that last start against the Cardinals was not ideal. He goes 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. Hell, even the start before that against the Red Sox, in which Detroit still found a way to win, Montero goes 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. So he could definitely be a lot better. The thing is, that should probably fix itself against San Francisco. Let's just be honest, right? This is not a good hitting group. I know their pitching is excellent, and that's what carries them through a lot of games, but they're taking on this gritty Detroit lineup with guys like Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, amongst others, Zach McKinstry, Javier Baez. There are guys in the lineup. There is not specifically one guy in the lineup you can really point at. I mean, if you had to, I guess it's Riley Green and or Gleyber Torres, but it's a really good group that Detroit has, and as long as we get a somewhat, half-competent start out of Montero, I think we're going to be okay. Again, we're going to see this Giants bullpen fairly early in this game. Birdsong, again, I think max 3 innings, really. I mean, maybe he'll get into the 4th, but I really don't anticipate Birdsong to go too deep in this one. I think we're going to be okay in all. I think Detroit should be able to manage for us in this spot. I like the bats for this team. The San Francisco lineup, man, I mean, they scored 3 runs yesterday against the Washington Nationals. Those all came in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. I thought Mike Soroka actually pitched a fairly decent game. It's that thing we've been talking about all year long with Soroka, right? Like, the stuff's not horrible. It's just he's got no run support, and there's been little things in each start that have kind of derailed his momentum this season. But like, you look at what the Giants do. I mean, what Yastrzemski, Ramos, Jung-Ho Lee, Wilmer Flores, I think is just the king of the dark magic. Like, I don't know how that guy has been pretty decent this season. Again, that's all jokes at the end of the day, but I think the Tigers are better, and I like the spot as well. I don't like the bullpen for the Giants, at least today. Against a Detroit lineup that's going to platoon, they're going to look at, they're going to play certain spots, and I think that should all favor Detroit today early, and they're at home. So I'm taking minus 110 for the Detroit Tigers. Yeah, Sam Huff hit a home run yesterday against the Nats. Like, dark magic. Like, Sam Huff going yard? Get out of here. All right, Detroit money line to kick off the day at minus 110. And then we're immediately going to another money line, okay? So a 12 o'clock game, noon start time here in Camden Yards. I'm taking the St. Louis Cardinals to beat the Baltimore Orioles. Guys, the Orioles are not good at baseball, okay? I'm going to continue to ride the negative wave here on the Baltimore Orioles, and I think for good reason. They have won back-to-back games going into this one. They lost the first 2 in Boston, in which we had the Red Sox. We laid off the Sox in the second 2 games of that series, and thankfully we did, because Baltimore won those second 2 games, or second, third, and fourth games. They won the last 2 games in Boston at Fenway Park. It's okay. Today, Charlie Morton goes on the bump for them. The dinosaur will be pitching. Now, okay, he is better. He is much better, actually, than Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson has been released. He's been DFA'd. I don't care. Charlie Morton, again, he takes Gibson's spot in the rotation. Morton's still not good. I understand he wasn't horrible when he came into the game to pitch against the Nationals, and they were using him out the bullpen for really his last, 3 appearances, because he was getting bombed every single time he was on the bump. But now they're putting Morton back in the starting rotation. Well, as we've seen already this year, that hasn't worked. So I don't think it's going to work now, okay? I think you look at this Cardinals lineup, they just swept the Arizona Diamondbacks in a series that I completely stayed away from for good reason. I just didn't like anything in that series. I thought it was too tricky to predict. Are the Nationals going to skip Corbin Burns? I think they're going to miss Burns this week. I hope. Anyways, St. Louis is just a sneaky good team. I've never been overly impressed with them. I kind of overlook the Cardinals when I always think about the playoff teams this season, and I'm going to be honest, I still don't think the Cards are going to be in the postseason. But you look at what they're doing right now, right? I mean, Mason Wynn's hitting the ball fairly well. Brendan Donovan's been an elite player in the league, believe it or not. Ivan Herrera's been really good. Burleson's been good. Arenado's still struggling with the bat. I swear, Jordan Walker, I know he had 2 hits yesterday. Every time I actually sit down, though, and watch a St. Louis Cardinals game, I'll be honest, I did not sit down and watch them play the Diamondbacks yesterday. I'm going to watch them today, though. Jordan Walker, I don't think I've ever seen Jordan Walker actually get a hit. I'm not joking. I'm trying to think, I said this a couple weeks ago. I had to look up Jordan Walker home run highlights just to make sure that actually that exists. Because Jordan Walker, whenever I watch a game of his, he never gets on base. It's weird. He bats 200. I remember when that guy was a premier prospect, man. I'm glad it didn't happen, but there was a point in time where the package that the Nationals were going to get, it was either what the Padres gave him, there was a package that the Dodgers had, or the package that the Cardinals had was Dylan Carlson, Mason Wynn, Jordan Walker were the 3 big prizes, the 3 big prospects, and there was one other guy involved. But I'm really glad that's not what we took. Remember at the time I actually kind of wanted that. Yeah. Anyways, thankfully not. There's an old vlog on my channel where I reference I was at Dodger Stadium, Juan Soto's last ever road series with the Nationals, and I was saying St. Louis isn't gonna like that when Soto gets plunked in the game. Anyways, I'm sorry about that, but quick tangent. I'm taking the Orioles today. I'm taking the Orioles to lose, guys. The Orioles are not good at baseball. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care they won back-to-back games. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, guys, the O's are still 16 games under 500. St. Louis, sure, were they supposed to be great this year? Probably not. They're 7 over right now. I'm going to take the team that's 7 over. I don't care they're on the road. And again, dinosaur Charlie Morton pitches. The 41-year-old is going. I like to fade the unks a lot on the channel. We fade Justin Verlander quite a bit. Hasn't gone our way that many times. But guys, Charlie Morton has a 7.68 ERA, and that's because it's down because his ERA in the month of May so far is 4.4. At one point in time, this guy's ERA was 10. Guys, actually, it was 11. So as a starter this season, guys, you take away his relief appearances, Charlie Morton's got an ERA of 11. Yeah, I'm going to fade this guy. I'm just going to be honest. I don't really care about any other variables in this game. Oh, the Baltimore lineup looked a little bit better in the last 2 games in Boston. That's great. Oh, Ryan O'Hearn's been hitting the ball well. Awesome. Gunner's slowly getting it together. Jackson Holliday, potential and likely all-star this year. That's great. Charlie Morton with his 11 ERA as a starter is going to take the bump tonight. I'm going to take the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are also, they're pitching Eric Fetty. We'll take Fettuccine on the bump tonight. I'm cool with that. I saw Fetty carve up the Nats earlier this season. He's been pretty solid all year round. I'm taking the Cardinals. I feel like this is an easy one. Another even money play here like we got in the opener in Detroit. Minus 110 here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Sign me up on the road here in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video, and now we move to our best player prop of the day. We're going to go here to the American League Central, and we are taking Bobby Witt Jr. on the over total bases. You want to get extra nice with it, you can go Bobby Witt over total bases plus Royals victory. I wouldn't do all that, but I'm just saying I don't mind that either. Like, I think the Royals are going to win this game with Michael Lorenzen pitching. Nick Martinez, he can be good in spots, but this feels to me like a low-scoring affair, and I think the Royals can probably edge it out. Anyways, our best bet is going to be Bobby Witt. And by the way, again, a reason to why I think the Royals are going to win, I think offense is going to be at a premium in this game. And a reason, and obviously I think the Royals are going to get things going at times because of Witt. Again, guys, Bobby Witt's ability to get on base is massive, right? I know he hasn't been the best recently, in terms of multi-hit games. But Bobby Witt's still batting 300. In his last game yesterday, 1 hit to double against the Minnesota Twins. That, again, cashes for us. He will have nights where he just straight up hits for 1 single. Hell, on Saturday against the Twins, pretty bad game in all fairness. 1 for 5 with 4 Ks for Bobby Witt, yet 2 stolen bases, I believe. I think he's in first place in the MLB with stolen bases. I think he is. Anyways, right? It's Witt's ability to get on base, and it's going to be the dependence on Bobby Witt to get on in this spot. Obviously, again, we know Witt bats to the top of the lineup every single day for Kansas City, likely in the 2 spot behind Jonathan India. But I do like the matchup as well for Bobby Witt in this one against Nick Martinez. Again, not a big sample size, but Witt is 2 for 4 with a single and a double career-wise against Martinez. That's going to play, right? And it's a Reds-Royals matchup. These 2 teams don't see each other all that often, so not much to really go on there. But I'm going to side with the guy who's the best player on the field today. I don't care how Ellie's on the Reds. I don't care, no. It's pretty clear Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player on the field here at Kauffman Stadium today. And I do think he's going to be able to go over the total base mark. Again, this is a 300 hitter this year. I look at what Nick Martinez has done. He's a pitch-to-contact guy, okay? Martinez, 3.43 ERA in the season, 2-5 record. Again, records don't matter in baseball. But there's a very good chance Witt's going to see Martinez 3 times. And even though Martinez, again, he will keep the runs to a low, he can limit the damage. He's going to give up hits. Like, look at that start he had against the Astros earlier this year. Only gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. That's great. Gave up 10 hits in the process, right? National start. Oh, that was actually one of his better starts. Still lost that game, by the way. But against the Cardinals, 6 innings, 5 hits, right? I mean, there is going to be a dependence on Bobby Witt because I do feel like some of this Royals lineup is going to struggle with Martinez. I feel like they're just going to get themselves out. But I do think, again, Witt's going to be that guy who's going to break through for Kansas City. He's going to be the primary source of offense. In terms of the money line, again, I'm not making that an official play. I just feel like Lorenzen and Martinez are kind of going to give a similar effort on the bump tonight. I mean, I look at what Lorenzen's done. Like, he can be really good in spots. I mean, I saw him pitch in San Francisco. Didn't have his best start, obviously, but I mean, at Lorenzen's best, look what he did against the Red Sox a couple weeks ago, 7 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs, right? I feel like he should be able to mirror kind of what Martinez does. They're kind of the same, they're not the same pitcher. Martinez goes a lot slower than Lorenzen. But I feel like, again, with a pitch-to-contact guy in the bump for Cincinnati, I think Bobby Witt should be able to do some damage. So ultimately, that's where we're going for this best bet. Bobby Witt Jr. on the best player prop for today, -120 and over 1.5 total bases. Again, a double will do it, 2 singles will do it, a home run would do it as well. Witt's got 5 of those on the season. Again, just get on base and we'll be fine. Bobby Witt Jr. on the over 1.5 total bases here in Kansas City. Let's go on to our 4th best bet of the video. We move. Oh, that's UFC. Go check out our UFC video. I don't know why I accidentally clicked on that. Our daily nerfie of the day. It's in Tampa, Florida. We got the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Minnesota Twins. We got Chris Paddock and Zach Lytle on the bump today. I think this is very achievable for Minnesota and Tampa to get the 6 outs combined. Now, this is not a best bet. Again, I would go Twins money line. I feel like there's a lot of good money line plays today, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to do a nerfie too. Full transparency, the original nerfie I wanted to do today was Boston and Milwaukee, Garrett Crochet, Chad Patrick, but it was -150. So like we call Garrett Crochet the nerfie king here on the channel because he is. He's cashed so many times for us. Can't go to it today. Just not going to play those odds. But Paddock, you know, Chris Paddock's been really good recently. He has, right? Look at that Guardians start, right? Gives up 7 hits in 5 1/3 innings, only gives up 2 runs. The start against the Orioles, I get it, that was in the midst of both the Twins at their peak in their winning streak and at the same time the Orioles being god-awful and not being able to hit the baseball. But Chris Paddock in that start against Baltimore goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. The Giants start that he has. And again, this is my point all the time with the Giants. And like, hell, even Montero too. Like, Chris Paddock turned around his season when he pitched against the San Francisco Giants. 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. Who's to say Montero can't do that today in our opener, right? But Paddock has been a lot better recently. He's got the ERA down to 3.98. I'm more concerned with Zach Lytle on the bump. 100% I'm more concerned with this. Lytle's going to go deep in games, and the Rays kind of win every game Lytle pitches now. They started off the year 0-5 in games where Lytle had pitched, even including a loss to the Colorado Rockies. But in Lytle's last 5 starts, Tampa's won all 5 of those games against San Diego, against the Yankees, against the Brewers, against the Blue Jays, and against Houston. And Lytle's given them great length in all of these games. I mean, look at that Blue Jays start. Goes 7 1/3 innings, gives up 8 hits, 3 runs. The Yankees start 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, right? Lytle has been much improved for Tampa Bay, and that's why I like this spot a lot for the nerfie, right? We're getting 2 pitchers who have been progressively ramping up as the season has gone on. I would say especially Paddock, but even Lytle too. And we look at, you know, and I'm more concerned, honestly, with Lytle than I am with Paddock. And that's more just so of what we potentially will fear in this Minnesota lineup, right? There are just guys on this team, and we've talked about it before when we were really riding with the Twins during their big win streak. There are just guys in this lineup who are going to come through and they find ways to get on base. Hell, the Twins scored 1 run yesterday on 3 hits against the Kansas City Royals in Minnesota, and that was in the very first inning. That was a single by Ty France that scored Ryan Jeffers. Again, they just have guys. Like Ryan Jeffers, I believe, led off the game with the double, then France knocked him in right after, right? Jeffers is batting .275, Ty France is batting .250, but those are guys who are just going to get hits in spots. Carlos Correa, batting .240, still trying to figure it out officially. He's been better since the start of the season. Royce Lewis, I just don't know what to say. Royce Lewis has been so inconsistent. Actually, I don't even think I can call him inconsistent. He just hasn't been good. Royce Lewis's average is 155 so far this year. But like Harrison Bader batting in the 270s, right? Trevor Larnach has been productive. Willie Castro still kind of really waiting for him this year as well. But again, there are just guys in the lineup for Minnesota. That's why I'd be a little bit concerned. But we say this all the time with nerfies, and this is why I like going to these. Like hell, yesterday Patrick Corbin cashed for us with the Rangers White Sox. We had this exact same line, -115 yesterday for that Chicago and Texas game. Again, hey, White Sox rotation, sneaky underrated, sneaky good. But we say this all the time, right? In one spot. It's one spot, one at bat in the first inning. I'm going to side with the pitcher. A, it's hard to hit a baseball. B, again, you take the best guy in that early part of the Twins lineup. It's Ryan Jeffers. He's batting .273. Out of 1,000 at-bats, he's going to get a hit in 273 of those. OBP's .369. That's great, again. But still, more times than not, Zach Lytle's going to find a way to get him out, right? I think we're going to play the odds for that. And then I look at what Chris Paddock's going to have to deal with this Tampa Bay lineup. The Rays have won 5 in a row, and that's partially why I say, okay, if I were to play money line here, I would go Minnesota. I think the Rays are kind of overachieving right now, and yes, they're overachieving at 500. I don't think Tampa's that good, and I understand, again, the Rays have always found ways to overachieve. Hell, even look back to their World Series run back in 2020. They weren't supposed to be there back then, right? Eliminating the New York Yankees in the ALDS that year. But really, other than Lowe in the 2 or Lau in the 2, no one else scares me. Yandy Diaz, okay. Again, I think Chris Paddock's able to get that out. Caminero, I know he's been really good. He was really good in that Toronto series. But I look at the Rays, and they had that huge offensive outburst really this entire series. Well, no, just yesterday, because the first 2 games in the series, they just won 3-1. But you look at what they do yesterday to the Blue Jays, 13 runs. I mean, absolute domination. They had Lau went yard. They had Caminero, I believe, went yard the day before, right? I mean, just this lineup has looked really good recently. They're due for some regression, man. They really are. After the highs of sweeping Toronto, yeah, I think Chris Paddock's going to be okay, especially a pitcher in Paddock, again, who's been much improved recently. You look at the matchups he's going to have to deal with early again, right? Diaz, Lau, and Lowe. Like, I think we're okay here with Chris Paddock. I think he'll be able to figure it out. And yeah, I don't know. It's something about the Rays. I don't like that lineup. Like, I don't think they're that great. They're second place in the AL East. They are. Wow, they have a better record than the Boston Red Sox. It does not feel like that. Again, this is a Tampa team on a 5-game win streak. They're due for some regression, and I think it starts today. I'm going to go with the Nerfy, though, with Zach Lytle and with Chris Paddock here in Tampa, Florida, with the Rays and the Twins. Let's go on to our final best bet of the video. Odds aren't great here, but I had to go to it. Guys, if we're getting the Padres at minus 135 against the Miami Marlins, I'm completely taking it. Like, this surprised me greatly when I saw these odds, okay? I don't care how poor the Padres have been playing. They did win the series in Atlanta, by the way. They won 2 of 3. And I don't care the Marlins ended up winning that series against the Angels. Damn, the Angels were just god-awful yesterday. They made Edward Cabrera look like his MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty card yesterday. I'm not joking. Like, you know how many pitches that they weren't close to the zone, that Angels hitters were just closing their eyes and trying to swing at yesterday? It was ridiculous. I watched that entire game. Wow. Like, I was getting excited for Angels baseball again. I watched that entire series against Miami, and I'm no longer excited again. Anyways, I think the Padres should easily take this one. I get it. Miami's playing with some momentum. I'm okay. I look at what, the Marlins did yesterday. 3 runs in 3 innings. They get a run in the a run in the third, a run in the fourth, and a run in the 5th. This lineup is still just like Agustin Ramirez was really good when he first came up. He's settled down. He's batting in the 240s. There are sneaky, like, annoying / good guys in the lineup. Like Eric Wagaman's going to give you, a good day. Cade Stowers, I understand, is really good. Like Jorge Sanoja at the bottom of the lineup. He's got sneaky pop for a second baseman who's primarily a contact guy, which I know just contradicts itself. He can put balls in gaps, though, and that dude will run, and he's a really good bunter as well. Like Derek Hill as well. Like, sneaky good guys in the Marlins lineup. I understand that. Guys, Miami's not going to San Diego and winning, though. Like, it's not going to happen, Full crowd, I expect a Memorial Day for the Padres. It's going to be a sellout. The Marlins, the lights are going to be too bright tonight. That's the simplest way I can put it. Pitching matchup tonight, Ryan Weathers versus Randy Vasquez. Okay. Ryan Weathers, so far this year, 2 starts, he's been good. But the thing is, he hasn't gone past 5 innings. We can detail the 2 starts right now, both against the Chicago Cubs. First start, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Second start, 5 innings, 1 run. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. That second start, by the way, where you only give up 1 run, his team ended up losing 14-1 in that game. That's just Marlins baseball. Again, Weathers has been good, but you take on this Padres lineup that was faltering a lot, but that series against Atlanta, they kind of found their footing, at least in the last game yesterday, right? Scoring 5 runs, Jake Cronenworth with a big home run in the 4th inning, Gavin Sheets hit one in the 6th. Sorry, Cronenworth with the go-ahead home run to give them their 4th run. Machado with a home run in the 8th inning as well, right? Like Jackson Merrill got on base a couple times in the series as well. I feel like the Padres have looked a lot better, actually just looked a lot better yesterday, and that should be some momentum and really all the momentum they need to beat Miami. Again, I don't think the odds are going to stay this way, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm recording this video at about 2 o'clock in the morning, so about 4 hours before I'm going to post it, and the odds are still at about minus 135. I think exactly I checked it was minus 136. I don't know if that's going to stay that way. But I look at the pitching matchup and I see Randy Vasquez. Like, again, this is a serviceable guy, you know. His last start against the Blue Jays was not good. It was a game where the Blue Jays ultimately ended up winning the game 14-0. Prior to that, man, Vasquez, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against the Angels. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs in Coors Field. I think Vasquez has been more than fine. And compare the two lineups. I mean, obviously, we're going to take San Diego in this spot. And I don't think Ryan Weathers is that shut down to the point where, oh, I'm scared he's going to completely throw off a team that has a lot of good right-handed bats, especially again with Weathers being a lefty. I mean, Tatis, Machado, right? I mean, there are guys in this lineup that should be able to hit fairly well against Weathers, and I think I'm okay with this. And yes, the Padres have their fair share of lefts. I know, again, right? Cronenworth, Arise, Sheets. I think we're going to be okay, though. I don't think Weathers is that shut down. So give me San Diego money line here to end the night. -135 here at Petco Park. Real quickly before we end the video, got to talk about the Washington Nationals. Why is Josh Bell hitting with the game on the line? With all due respect, I've made this very clear. I have nothing against Josh Bell as a human being. I actually really like Josh Bell as a human. Like, I'm a big fan of Josh Bell. Why is he hitting instead of A, Ahmed Rosario, who we took out of the game, or B, if you want the matchup right, lefty Davey, put Jose Tena in the game. Tena did not play yesterday. And if, say, that game went to extra innings, Bell's going to come out. Tena's just going to play third for Rosario anyway. Why are we pinch hitting a guy who's batting 155? I don't understand. I don't get it. And now Davey, after the game, someone asked him about it in the post-game press conference, and he said, you know what, our team's going to really get going if we can get Josh Bell going, which is very true. But guys, we just need anybody to give us production at the DH spot. We employ Josh Bell, who just hits the baseball. He doesn't play the field. He's a designated hitter. He's a designated to hit, and he bats 150. I don't even think we should DFA Josh Bell. Move him to the bench. Get him right. Only pinch hit him in minimal spots for the next month and give him another opportunity. I don't think he's got an option down to Rochester, but why is he pinch hitting in that spot? In the bottom of the 9th with a runner on second base, it was just a free out for Ryan Walker and the San Francisco Giants. Obviously, James Wood comes through, and then Nathaniel Lowe, oh my goodness, again, Giants dark magic. Nathaniel Lowe misses a double down the line by that much. Barely goes foul, and then the next pitch, Ryan Walker strikes out Nathaniel Lowe, and then Alex Call flies out into right field. I mean, it was just the story of the series. Nats back down to 5 games under 500, but guys, I'm holding out hope. I legitimately think they can sweep the Mariners. They face 3 pitchers for Seattle. Logan Evans, I think that's his first name. I know Gilbert's pitching against, not Gilbert, sorry. George Kirby's pitching against them, and Emerson Hancock. Very winnable matchups for the Nats, even though they're throwing Mitchell Parker and Trevor Williams and Mackenzie Gore, thankfully, in the 3rd game. But the Nats have always played well in Seattle. I think we're able to get a sweep potentially coming up tomorrow. We'll get to that again when we get there. I think Mike Soroka had a decent start, but man, yeah, the Josh Bell thing is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. Do you want to lose the baseball game? Why is he hitting in that spot? It just, I don't get it, man. Again, Giants dark magic. Everything works out for him. Anyways, folks, that does it for MLB Best Bets here on Memorial Day. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching.